The sprawling mansion on the edge of Long Island stood as a fortress of wealth, immaculate marble floors, polished silver fixtures, and rooms so silent, they echoed emptiness louder than sound. On paper, Alexander Grant had it all, a tech empire worth billions, features gracing Forbes and Fortune, and a reputation for ruthless success. But inside that cold, opulent estate lived a man grappling with grief, guilt, and the crumbling pieces of a family he didn't know how to hold together. After his wife's sudden passing 2 years ago, Alex became a ghost in his children's lives, providing everything money could buy, but nothing that truly mattered. His 6-year-old son Ethan had stopped speaking entirely, retreating into a world only he understood. And 12-year-old Lily, once his shadow, now barely looked at him, hiding pain behind sarcasm and slammed doors. Nannies came and went. Some lasted a week, others a month. None could reach the children. Too clinical, too strict, or too afraid to challenge the man who signed their checks. Until her. Her name was Grace Whitaker. She walked into the Grant mansion in a modest navy blue dress and scuffed shoes, her resume thinner than most. A degree in child psychology she never finished. Years spent volunteering at shelters, working at community centers, and teaching special needs children. No private nanny experience, no glowing letters from high-profile families, just a quiet confidence in her eyes and a warmth that seemed to soften the very air. "She's not qualified," Alex had said flatly after their 10-minute interview. "But she connected with Ethan," said Mrs. Langford, the housekeeper. He looked at her. He handed her his toy. Alex had waved it off. Coincidence. But that night, Ethan ate a full meal for the first time in weeks. The next morning, Grace was back. She didn't treat the children like fragile ornaments. She got messy. She rolled on the carpet with Ethan, stacking blocks and making silly sounds. She let Lily dye her hair purple in the kitchen and didn't flinch when the girls spilled dye on her blouse. She didn't try to erase their grief. She acknowledged it. Sat with it. Sat with them. For weeks, Alex watched from afar, confused by her methods. No structure. No schedule. Just presence. Patience. Kindness. "What exactly do you think you're doing?" he finally asked one evening, catching her as she folded laundry in the sunroom. Grace smiled gently. "I'm teaching them how to feel safe again." His jaw tightened. "Safe doesn't pay the bills." "No," she said quietly. "But it's the foundation for everything else." He almost fired her on the spot. But something, maybe the slight tremble in her voice, or the way Lily had laughed earlier for the first time in months, held him back. Weeks turned into months. And slowly, miraculously, change seeped in. Ethan started humming again. Then murmuring words. One day, out of nowhere, he tugged on Alex's sleeve and whispered, "Daddy." Alex had to excuse himself. He hadn't cried in years. Lily's walls began to lower. She stopped hiding her drawings. One evening, she showed Alex a sketch of their family, him, Ethan, herself, and Grace, right in the middle, holding their hands. It was the first time he saw what she had become. Not just a nanny. She was their glue. Their lighthouse. But Grace had her own shadows. One snowy afternoon, Alex found her sitting alone in the garden greenhouse, her arms wrapped tightly around herself. Her eyes, usually lit with calm certainty, were red-rimmed. He didn't mean to intrude, but something made him speak. "You heal everyone else. Who heals you?" She blinked at him, startled. "I don't need." "Yes, you do," he interrupted. "Let me help you, for once." She smiled sadly. "You don't fix people with money, Mr. Grant. You fix them with love." The word struck him like a blow. Not because they were new, but because they were everything he'd forgotten. That night, he sat beside his children, reading them a bedtime story for the first time in 2 years. His voice cracked. Lily reached out and held his hand. He looked up to see Grace in the doorway, watching with tears silently falling down her cheeks. He finally understood.